there's Mr. Arkwright, painting the outside of his house.
Hello, Arkwright.
Oh, hello, Hardwick. How do you do, Mrs. Hardwick?
Working hard again, I see, Mr. Arkwright.
Yes, I always believe in freshening up every couple of years. It prevents it getting too bad, you know. A stitch in time. Because if you let the place get into the state that yours is, it's such an expensive job to do.
My eyes were certainly open this afternoon. Even the neighbours comment on the state of our house. It's a disgrace. Why we haven't had it done up, I just can't think.
You know perfectly well why we haven't had it done up. Money doesn't grow on gooseberry bushes, you know, Ethel.
It's not a question of money. If you were handy like Mr. Arkwright, there'd be no need to worry about money. You just do it yourself as a matter of course.
Well, you see, dear, I'm just not built that way, that's all.
No, I know you're not. Look at that picture. When it was taken, I thought I was on the threshold of a new and exciting life. And what's it turned into? I thought you were my knight in shining armour. Now I'm just a disillusioned woman.
I'm sorry, dear. So, you see, if she's set her heart on it, I thought perhaps you might give me a hand. After you've finished yours, of course.
Hey, that I'll not. While I'm doing jobs for you, my house is going to rack and ruin. I should have started the painting a month ago. No, I've done enough for you. I've mended your fuses, rewashed your taps, painted and decorated a room for you, built you a shed, aye, and ruined a perfectly good Sunday dinner into the bargain. No, I'll tell you I'll not do it, not under any circumstances whatsoever. And I haven't got the slightest compunction in telling you so.
Well, if that's the way you feel about it, Mr. Arkwright, there's nothing more to be said. But Ethel will be disappointed.
Well, what's wrong with your doing it? But I can tell you that I'm not going to get mixed up in it, no matter what sort of a mess you get yourself into. The whole business is absolutely ridiculous.
Ethel?
Hmm?
I'm sorry I'm such a washout, but I'll paint the house for you. Honestly, I will.
Oh, no, you won't, James. You know perfectly well you can't stand heights. You know that even the top of a stepladder frightens you to death, let alone a real ladder.
I'll force myself to do it, Ethel, to show you that underneath I'm not such a clown as you think, to show you that although I'm getting on, I'm still the man you married, still your knight in shining armour. Good night, Ethel.
Good night, James. Oh, please, James, for my sake, don't do it. I'm sorry for what I said. I know you'll hurt yourself, James. Please don't do it.
No, Ethel, my mind's made up. I'll do the job. Now, go inside. There's no danger.
Oh, very well. But please be careful. Oh.
Are you all right, James?
Quite all right, Ethel.
Oh, thank heaven for that.
So you're doing it then, Mr. Hardwick?
James! Oh, James!
Here, I'll go and send for an ambulance. You know, somehow I feel that I'm to blame for this.
Well, it's happened now. And it's more my fault than anyone else's.
No, it isn't. I'm more responsible than anyone. I should have made John do it. Poor Mr. Hardwick.
What does the doctor say? Does he think he'll last?
It'll be a long job. But he'll be all right.
I'd like to go and see him in hospital, just to cheer him up a bit. Poor James. What horrible plight to be in.
Oh, James.
Oh, I am grieved. Can you forgive me?
Forgive? Of course I can. It was my own fault. There's really nothing to forgive.
So brave.
I was proper affected at the sight of poor old James lying there like that. Proper affected. I would like to make amends for what's happened. Would you be averse to my doing up your house as a surprise for him when he comes out? Well, I will.
Mr. Arkwright, look, there's a ladder against our house.
A ladder?
Yes, look.
Righto, Hamlet. Up you go.
What about you going up?
Oh, no. It was your idea. I don't want to rob you of the honour and glory.
Oh, well. Too low they build that build below the skies. Farewell, comrade.
That's the ticket. Now hold on tight and don't forget to keep on working.
What are you doing to my house?
Allow us to introduce ourselves, madam. Or may we call you Mrs. Hardwick? My partner in crime is Joe. My name is Willie Smith, known to the world as Hamlet, a gloomy Dane, and gloomier, if I may say so, for the sad news of your husband's fall, not from grace, but from the first floor front.
But I don't. Well, it's like this, ma'am. We knew Jimmy was set on having the house decorated, so we thought we'd do it for him as a surprise when he came out.
Well, that's very kind of you, but Mr. Arkwright...
We can all do it together. Many hands make light work. Have you had any experience of this sort of thing? To be honest, and without beating about the bush, no. We can but try. Let us to the task. Aye, well, I'll show you. Then you can give me a hand, like. For poor James, we work. Coats off, trousers up, and let painting commence. Here, not so fast. We've got to get the old paint off first. It's in shocking condition. We can't do that while tomorrow because we need to get a blow lamp. Blow lamps are tricky things.
This is a paraffin one, so we half fill the container with paraffin oil and make sure that the jet is clear by using the pricker provided with the lamp. Just push the wire into the jet. Then put some methylated spirit into the ridge running around the top of the container and light it. This warms up the burner so that the paraffin becomes volatile. When the methylated spirit has almost gone out, give it a few pumps to build up the pressure. Now get the ladder set properly. Be careful of the angle. Not too wide, not too acute, but like that. If the ground isn't very firm, it's best to put in a couple of pegs and a bar across. Now for burning off the old paint. Don't have the blow lamp flame too fierce or else you'll burn the woodwork. You lower it by releasing some of the pressure. Keep the flame above the scraper and always work upwards or you'll get your hands burned, and above all, keep it moving about. Next, rub over with sandpaper to finish it off. Oh aye, we must fix that window all right. Now use a hacking knife and hammer to get out the old putty, and it's as well to wear a worn out pair of gloves. Use an old chisel to get the hard bits off. Get the glass 1/8 of an inch smaller than the space, because otherwise it'll crack when it expands. Give the inside of the rebate a coat of paint or knotting to prevent the putty soaking in. And then, when it's dry, prepare a bed of putty for the glass to rest on. It must not touch the wood. Knead the putty until it's soft and work it into the rebate with your fingers. When that's done, put in the glass and press it gently from the edges. If you do it in the middle, it'll break. And then put in a couple of brads or panel pins to hold the glass pro tem, and be careful how you do this. Right, when it's well bedded in, put putty along the outside edge and taper it off to a nice, neat shape. Now we're ready to paint. At least 2 coats of flat undercoating will be necessary, and each must dry thoroughly before the next is put on. Hang the pot from the ladder with a wire hook and tie a piece of string across the tin so that you can wipe your brush on that instead of on the side of the can. Always use good quality paint for the job. Cheap paints are a waste of time. A good make lasts longer and protects the woodwork better.
Well, that's the job done, and a bit of all right too. Well, it's nearly time. Come on, lads, get this lot shifted. He's here.
Hello, chaps.
Hello, Jimmy.
Hello.
Betty. My, you've done a good job. Thanks, Arkwright.
Nay, don't thank me. Thank Joe and Namlet here.
What a wonderful surprise.
Think nothing of it. Nothing at all. If ever there's anything that you want in the future, well, you've only got to ask. Nothing's too much trouble. I'm very glad to see you looking so much better. How long will it be?
About 6 months, the doctor says, but there'll be no after effects.
Well, that's good. I'm very, very pleased to hear it. Now, do remember that if ever there's anything that you want, you've only got to ask.
for he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, and so say all of us. Hey!
Through the fish ponds and paddy lands to the capital city of 1 million people.